Welcome back to Between the Lines. This week we're talking a little between the trenches, and really between the trenches because we could talk offense, we could talk defense. You've done some shuffling here in your time at CMU. Can you tell us about the position changes?
Yeah, I mean, it was always more about where I was needed for the team. Because when I got here as a freshman, I was just a big athlete, and so they asked me which one I wanted to do, and I was like, I'd like to play defense. And so when I first got here, I was playing defense, and then obviously we had Bernie and Luke, who then went and got drafted, and so we were kind of light the next year on offensive line, and so then I switched over to be offensive lineman. And then doing that for a little while, became light on defensive line. So then I switched back, and now it's where I'm at again.
What was it like to just say yes? Wherever you need me, I'm going to go do it for you.
Well, I mean, honestly, the meeting was kind of terrifying because it was to come back to defensive line. It was the Sunday before we played Michigan State. So it was going into game week. I got called in, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Like, why am I getting called in on a day off? And so I came in, was a little terrified, and they're like, hey, we think you'd be able to do this, and we would love it if you could. And so immediately I was like, absolutely. If like that's what it's going to take to get us to win, I would want to be there to do that.
Team player, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a spot that you enjoy more than other, or is it just, hey, I just want to be on the field and help the team out?
I mean, I love defensive line, but I have enjoyed doing both, and being in the trenches, it's always just about imposing your will on the other person across from you. So I love doing that. Really enjoy that.
Is it helpful to be, hey, I was on the offensive side of the ball, now I'm on defense, I kind of know what they're trying to do, and now I have an idea of what I need to do because I was in this position before? Is that a thing?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you always hear about, like, professional athletes saying, like, the sport slows down. And I'm not putting myself on, like, that level, but being able to, like, understand what the offense is trying to do with blocking schemes doesn't help with, like, then play recognition, run pass, being able to react faster. It definitely helps, and it slowed it down a little bit.
Jonathan Decker, a redshirt senior. You got here in 2021, and here we are. Real quick, it's now 2025. This is it, man. How has your time been here in Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Looking back now, I'm living with Levi Brown, my roommate, and he came in same time I did, and every now and then we catch ourselves and we're like, holy cow, we've been here a while, but also it feels like it's just flew by because we've had so many different teammates and seen so many guys come through, and then we're still here, and we get to look and be like, oh wow, those guys are starting their lives. We're still playing football. We're like, we love that, but also it's like, holy cow.
Levi got you listening to that island music because he was telling us he loves it.
Yeah, every now and then I'll walk into the apartment and something will be playing and be like, oh, all right.
I think that's part of this, though. Your guys bonding, and even prior to this staff, but it seems like even more this year, you guys seem so close and connected to each other. Is that true?
So it's always been more about the people and the relationships. Like, yeah, coming in as a freshman, you looked around and you're like, oh, these guys like really enjoy being around each other and they love each other. So it's like, oh, like that's like it's a second family. Like it's a home away from a home.
Now that you've had time and spent the last 4 or 5 years here, when someone asks you, what is Central Michigan football all about, what would you say?
I mean, through and through, we've always been a bunch of boys that come onto the field and just go. Like we've always prided ourselves on being those hard-hitting kids that, like, when you go out there, you know what the hell we're doing, and we want to do it physically and fast.
Well, you're 2 games in. You win one, you lose one. How do you think things are going so far?
We had a good test with the first game, and we found a way to get through with the help of a bunch of our teammates. Everybody was involved in that one. And then in Pitt, we came out, we hurt ourselves a little bit, and so we've learned a lot of lessons from that. And so we're going into this next week excited to fix a lot of errors and see what we can do with it.
You kind of feel like your place of living with Levi here in Mount Pleasant is like a hotel room because you guys have been traveling all over the place here these first month of the season?
I mean, it's going to be a lot of the season. We're going to spend a lot of time away, but yeah, you get used to traveling with the guys, and so it just kind of feels normal at a certain point. Even if the team does change over the years, it's still the same whole thing of getting on the bus, going to the hotel, preparing yourself for the game, and getting ready to play the game.
Tell us about this staff, because you've been here before and you've experienced what Central Michigan and Central Michigan football is. This is a brand new regime that came in here 8-9 months ago. How do you like them?
I mean, I've loved what's happened, but also obviously loved the previous staff because they were what got me here. But now being with this new staff and the way things have changed or the way new coaches handle different situations, it's all just been awesome to see and be able to get like the perspective of different coaching styles and what they do in certain situations and understanding how to react and work with that as a player.
You got a family here in Mount Pleasant in Central Michigan football, but you got another family at home. Tell us about the group at home.
All right, so I'm a middle kid, so I got an older sister and a younger sister. My older sister played Division II volleyball in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then my little sister is playing at Saginaw just down the road. And so it's always been awesome to be able to have, well, especially now that my older sister's graduated, she's got her doctorate, and so she's an occupational therapist. But it's awesome to have them come to games, the support system. My parents are almost always at every game. It's awesome being able to see them and then go out there and play for them.
With your time left here, I mean, what are you hoping to accomplish and get out of this before you move on to the next steps in your life?
I mean, we're taking it 1 week at a time. We obviously all want to win, and so we're gonna kind of work to be the best players that we can be and see what the hell happens with that.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the year here.
Thank you.
Okay, from a veteran on defense to a youngster on offense, Justin Ruffin is joining us. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. It's been fun watching you. First couple of games, you just got up here as a true freshman. How is everything going in your first semester at Central Michigan?
It's been going pretty good. I feel like I've been pretty focused and, just ready to get out there and play. And I feel like I've made the most of the opportunity that I've had so far. I'm just ready to get out there and play again.
Have you got yourself acquainted with Mount Pleasant, the food spots you need to get to, the classes you got to go to? I mean, because there's football, but there's going to school as well.
Yeah, I got my routine. After practice, probably go to Merrill Food Hall with my boys, just get something to eat. So after a while being here, you just get the rundown of everything.
Do you have I don't know what they're serving over there, but is there a food item you really like so far through the first month?
Probably the chicken and waffles.
Oh,
Yeah,
chicken and waffles, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You dabbling some syrup on there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, chicken and waffles, very good. You come from around the Louisville, Kentucky area, so tell us how Central Michigan was put on the map for you and how you got up here to be a Chippewa.
Yeah, so I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, but I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. And so at a high school, I got recruited by Army West Point, where Coach Drinkle was at. So I went there, and I was at the prep school for a semester and realized that it really wasn't for me. But at the end of the day, it was still like a great experience, great opportunity. I'm glad I went there. Still miss my boys from there and everything. But like I said, it wasn't what I wanted, and it wasn't for me. So I ended up coming here, and I'm glad I made that choice. It was just kind of happened after Coach Drinkle got the job, and I'm just really blessed and grateful that it did.
Kind of followed Coach Drink a little bit, which is understanding. He seems to be a guy that you guys are all enjoying being around, learning from. What has your personal perspective been on Coach Drink so far?
Yeah, I love him a lot. Like I said, he's the reason I'm here in the first place. And to be honest, he talks to us about wanting to be desperate for all this, and when you watch him how he conducts himself and how he works, you could tell he's really desperate to be the best he could be the best coach he could be, and be the best person he can for us. So that's what I like about him.
When you go out and strap on the pads and the uniform, do you have that extra pride of knowing that, hey, here's a guy and a coaching staff that is willing to support me. I want to do everything I can to help them be successful as well on the field?
Yeah, I feel like that should be the case for everybody, whether that's with, the head coach, your brothers, your team, or your Y back home, your family, everything like that. So I feel like you always need to be playing for something. I feel like that drives a lot of our guys.
We saw you make your first collegiate grab on Saturday at Pitt in an NFL stadium. How'd that feel, man?
It was great. I grew up a Steelers fan. I have roots in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I did. I have roots in Pittsburgh on my mom's side, so just being in that environment was, amazing. Getting my first catch there was pretty cool. I wish I could have got done more with it, but, it's a catch nonetheless.
10 more games to go for sure. We'll expect more coming. So had you ever been to the Steelers Stadium before?
Yeah, I've been to a couple games before growing up and younger. Just, being a fan is different than actually being on the field, so it was a cool experience.
Yeah, you come out of the locker room, you maybe go gazing a little bit like,
Yeah, it was
wow,
a
this is a different view.
crazy feeling, yeah.
So you go from 2 games in, and now you got 10 more games left to go, and I'm sure you're learning a lot from the offensive staff and just the change from high school to college. What has that all been like for you in just a new spot?
I feel like it's just a faster game. And when it comes to like the playbook and stuff, I had the opportunity to be coached by some really good coaches at high school. Hunter Canwell, he played in the NFL, so our playbook was real complex, and I feel like that really helped me transfer over to college now, to where there's going to be longer play calls, knowing this assignment, know exactly what you got to do here, maybe change your route, mid-route, just based on what the defense is doing. So just things like that, just transferring over, I feel like has really helped me. And then just like mentors in the locker room, just like older guys like Tyson Davis, Langston Lewis, Tommy McIntosh, even at different positions like Nari Biggins, just, helping me grow as a person, leader, and just things like that.
What specifically, those guys that you're talking about, what are they doing for you? Are they just helping you out with just plays, or how are you doing, or like what kind of support are they providing to you?
Whether it's just in like the film room, or on the field, like after play, always being positive, giving me tips, just not being scared to critique my game. And I really appreciate that, because I feel like that's how we make each other better.
How about in this wide receiver room? I mean, you mentioned Tyson Davis, that one-handed catch was crazy. Tommy McIntosh, Langston, like, what do you think about this group of wide receivers that you're working with so far?
Yeah, we can ball, and that's for a fact. And I feel like, you got to see that a little bit on Saturday. And, if the playbook continues to open up more, we'll be ready. We're some playmakers and we can make plays. But, if we do continue to run the ball, we're more than willing to go dig out those safeties. So
this is crazy for me to process here. Last year, you're playing high school ball in Kentucky, and this year you are, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19 years old as a freshman, 3 games in coming up, and you're going to be playing in over 100,000 people looking down at you at Michigan Stadium this Saturday. Like, what is that going to be like for you?
I feel like it's going to be a great experience. This is what you dream about, as a little kid, just getting to go and play in front of a whole bunch of people. But like I said, it's a kid's game. It's what, we've been doing since we were little kids. It's just about having fun, so that's what I'm really focused on.
How do you block out some of those distractions, like the fans or media or anything like that? I mean, not just this game, but in general, as you're learning as a true freshman, and just make sure you stay focused on your task and the coaching staff and what you need to go do on the field.
I feel like it's all about preparation, whether that's watching film throughout the week, going through your plays extra, maybe staying after practice, getting some extra passes, some extra releases, just being disciplined enough to block out those distractions, because there's always going to be distractions. You
talked about your why earlier, your family back at home. You got some siblings growing up with you?
Yes, sir. 2 younger brothers, Jason and Joshua.
Okay, and tell us about that relationship with them and what it's like growing up in the Ruffin household.
We grew up in a great household, 2-parent household. My dad, my mom, and just being able to like be a role model for my brothers. I feel like that's real important. Even though we might not always get along, it's all love at the end of the day. So.
What are you, about 5-6 hours away, drive-wise from home?
Yes, sir, 6.
You talking with them constantly, your brothers, your mom and dad, just keeping them updated on how things are going?
Yes, sir, all the time. FaceTime, everything like that.
Very cool. And would they get a chance to come up and watch you play here, hopefully?
Yeah, they've been, my dad's been to both games, and my brothers and my mom got to come up to the one in Pittsburgh. So.
Okay, very cool. Well, we've only seen you a couple of games, so I got to ask, what fans can expect to see? What type of player are you that we're hoping to keep you here for a while since you just got here? What can they expect to see from you?
They can expect a hard work, someone that's always going to do, everything right or to the best of my ability. Hopefully some more explosive plays. It's only been 2 games, but I feel like I'm a, run after catch guy, being explosive with the ball in my hands, whether that's in the return game or just catching like those short passes and getting loose out in the field. So I'm excited to just get going.
Justin Ruffin, get this guy the ball. Let's get some yak, and let's get you into the end zone for that first time, huh? Well, hey, man, we're happy to have you here at Central Michigan, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.